Welcome back to season 2 of the Single Mama Minimal Drama podcast. It is me, Kendra, your host. I am so happy to be back with you guys and bring in this second season of the Single Mama Minimal Drama podcast. Last season, we had so many exciting guests, people who had a lot of different perspectives, who talked about a bunch of different things, and I really enjoyed having those conversations on camera with you all. I decided to keep the couch. If you noticed, I really enjoy the couch. I think it brings us closer together. Single Mama Minimal Drama has been in the thinking stages over the break. We've been thinking a lot about some different things. So be prepared this season to see a lot of different changes for the better and a lot of new guests and just new perspectives being brought to the forefront about parenting, parenthood, and other things. At the end of the last season, we were with Callie and Kai, and we talked about free time as a mom. So during the time where we had this small little break, Callie, Kai, and I had the 3 Black Girls Book Club. Well, it's the 4 Black Girls Book Club now because because Debonese is who is my other best friend is also a part of the book club, and she will be on the podcast. So you guys will get to meet her, which is very exciting. Spoiler alert: she's definitely my funniest friend, and everybody who's ever met her agrees. So I'm excited for her to come on. The book club has been doing some very interesting things. We have only read 2 books. We try and give it like month by month. So this is just your update on the book club. We are reading A Love Letter to Whiskey. And this book is written by Candy Steiner. And it's a good book too. It's a romance. I am not big on romance. I love fantasy. So the Throne of Glass series was a good one. I also did read Sarah J. Maas's other series, the A Court series. If you know about that one, you also know about that one. So after I finish the Love Letter to Whiskey, I'm also going to start on the Crescent City series, which is Sarah J. Maas's other series. But along with the things that I'm reading, my side quests readings, I am reading what we're reading in the book club. So the first book we also read in the book club was a Freedom McFadden book, and that was a good book also. So the book club girls will be on, and we will be talking about the books that we have been reading and the things that we have discussed while reading the book and and more. The other thing that I have done during this break is I have hung out with some of my friends just outside. So you guys met OJ and Kat last season. I've hung out with them. We've been kicking it hard. The 3 amigos, definitely for sure. And just really being around my family. I told Kat in a conversation that we were having that through this time, I've just really been having some very wholesome experiences. And I'm really thankful for those experiences, just to be able to be around people that love me and care about me, and people that I love and care about in return, and just spending time with them, having a good time, making memories, laughing, joking, eating, singing, dancing, doing whatever. Just really feeling free and uplifted by the energy of the people that are around me. And just even my own energy that I just bring to the table. So I've been very excited about all of that. During the break also was the start of the school year. If you know, you know. That in itself can just be crazy. As a mother, but also as an educator, it is just a whirlwind of stuff. So the break that we had could not have come at a better time. I'm always down for encouraging people to take breaks when they feel like they need to take a break, because if you don't take the break, life's going to make you take the break. So it was good for us to break during that time, because I started at a new school. My kids started at the school with me, and we just had to all get adjusted, and we're still adjusting, but it's great. Weston is in kindergarten. Sam is in 2nd grade. They're both excited about school for the most part. Sam is more excited than Weston, but kindergarten is a big adjustment for a kid coming from pre-K. If you are a parent, you know. If you are an educator, you also know. In pre-K, especially in Georgia pre-K, it's not a whole lot of like sitting down at the table or sitting down at the desk. There's a lot of community time where they're coming together on the carpet. They're talking about what they're going to do for the day. They're singing songs. They're doing projects. And it's just a lot of moving. They get that whole hour of uninterrupted play during center time. And then they get to go outside for 30 minutes. Like, they just get to have the best time in pre K. And then for Weston, adjusting to kindergarten has been an adjustment, to say the least. He has been having to get used to sitting at his desk, sitting still. Those things have been interesting for Weston because Weston likes to move. And Weston has always been like that. I remember when Weston was 2 years old. His 2-year-old teacher was telling me, like, one day when I picked him up from school, she was like, Weston is good, but Weston just does some things. And I was like what? And she was like, he just moves a lot. And so the next day I picked him up, Weston had this carpet burn on his forehead. And I was like, Weston, what happened? What were you doing at school? Because by the time I picked him up, his teacher was gone. He was like, oh. He was like, I just slide my head on the carpet. And I asked this teacher the next day, and she was like, yeah, we were sitting at circle time, and Weston was sliding his head across the carpet. So for a kid who likes to move like that, going to kindergarten where he has to sit in a desk for the majority of his day has been very interesting, but he is adjusting. Now, the other brother, Sam, loves school, has always loved things academic. He's doing really good. He loves second grade. He loves his teacher. He loves doing math, which is just wild to me, but he loves all of those things. And he's really working on his reading. He's leaning into perfecting that as his second grade year starts to take place. So that's just their update. And they also, well, Sam has started soccer. So a lot of people are like, wait, Weston's not playing? No, Weston's not playing. Last year, Weston played soccer and Weston decided to be a dinosaur the whole time he was on the soccer field. They play club soccer, so it can be a little pricey. So their dad and I decided that we were just going to have Sam play this season and let Weston sit out and see how he feels about it. So now, of course, all of a sudden, Weston wants to play soccer. But he still also just kind of hangs out with me with no issue during soccer practice. And he cheers his brother on during the soccer games. They actually had their first game today, which was exciting. So don't ask if they won. They were kind of just really working on technique is what it looked like to me. But Sam did score 2 goals, so that was really good. He started at goalie, and then his coach moved him to, I think, defender was the position. I'm still learning the soccer terms, and it's crazy to say this because I did play softball from the time that I was in second grade to the first semester of my freshman year in college. But other sports, not really my thing. I can tell you a little bit about basketball, actually. I do enjoy watching basketball. And I can tell you a lot about wrestling because I was a wrestling manager. But like when it comes to like soccer, football, basically those sports that are on the field, I don't know much. But I'm learning more and more every day because I'm trying to learn and grow my own brain in its own way. So that has also been a thing over the break. But back to the books that I read. That series, the Throne of Glass series, this is not a book club book, so I feel like I can talk about this on here. Was a really good series, and I would highly recommend it to you if you are into fantasy books. It starts off kind of slow, and I say about fairies because fairies come in like the fourth book I want to say of the series. It's not really like all about fairies in the beginning, at least, but it's definitely about magical beings. So anyways, if you are interested in fantasy books, I highly recommend the Throne of Glass series, but it does start off slow. And some people have, like, if you go onto TikTok, you can see all of the different recommendations of the orders that you should read the books, because some people start with the Assassin's Blade and some people start with the Throne of Glass. I tried to start with the Throne of Glass, but that was just not making any sense to me. I needed to know who these characters were. So I stopped that, went back, got the Assassin's Blade, started with the Assassin's Blade, and I read it in chronological order like that. But some people say that you can put the Assassin's Blade anywhere within the series and still, read that book whenever you want to read it. But I like to read that one first because that was the beginning of Aelin or Selena Sardathian. So, anyways, that was a really good series. But if you need something that's going to pick up a little faster and you also like fantasy, Sarah J. Maas's other series, A Court of Thorns and Roses, is the first book of that series. That is also a good series. Now, that one is a little more that one has a little bit more romance, I would say, in it, and just some sexual activity. So that's not one that you maybe want to have. It's not that one. It's the third book of that series where things start getting a little real, and you might not want to have that one blasting loud in your audiobook when you're going to pick up your kids or anything. But it's a good series to read. It had a lot more action. It was a lot more jam packed. It was very quick and fun. I think I finished that series months ago, though. Assassin's Blade, Throne of Glass series. And it was really good. I really enjoyed it. So I would highly recommend, if you have some free time or if you're like me and you have to listen to audiobooks. I finally got a membership to Audible, which is crazy to think that I didn't have one before because I was using the Apple Books app. But the books on Audible are a little more affordable than the Apple Books app. I tried to do the Libby app, but the fact that I have to wait in line for somebody to return the book, I think for the Handmaids, for the Four Black Girls Book Club, we were gonna read the second installment of that Handmaid book, but or is it Handmaid? Housemaid. It's the Housemaid. The Housemaid. But I was on the Libby app and I was like the 700th person in line. I was like, I'm never gonna get that book. So, anyways, I got a membership on Audible now, and now I listen to my books on Audible. And it's a lot of fun for me because I can listen to it in the car. I can listen to it when I'm walking or cleaning or doing anything. And that allows me to multitask. I can still exercise and listen to the book, which I really enjoy, especially when it's a good book. So, if you have any book recommendations, leave it in the comments below. I'm always down to read different books. I'm not really a psychological thriller type of girl. Murder mysteries, that's not really my thing, though. So you would have to come with it to explain to me that that's actually a really good book and something I should listen to. But anyways, so we're back with another season. New things, new you, new me. The break also came at a really good time because there was a Mercury retrograde that was kind of tumultuous. It wasn't super intense, and I think it's because of my heavy Capricorn placements, but I was also born with a couple planets in retrograde. So retrogrades aren't always super crazy for me like they are for some people, but like the technology glitches of the retrograde were actually a little insane for me. But the retrograde is over and we have until, what is it? I think the next one isn't until like November, the end of November or something like that. And I know it, or maybe it might even be December. I know it carries us into the next year. So we have a little time to do some things. We have a lot of things coming up because we have spooky season. We have finally entered the Burr months, which is my favorite time of the year. September, October, November, December. Okay. So we have Halloween coming up. I volunteered to be the mom on the soccer team that decorated the soccer trunk for trunk or treat. So I'm very excited. I went to my dinosaur roots and we're going to go with a Jurassic Park theme. So you guys definitely need to stay tuned to see how all of that works out for me. And then we have a couple events that I will be dressing up for work. We have like this thing called Wall Card Day. I still won't share what I'm dressing up as because it's a secret. And then we have like book character dress up day. And then of course we have Halloween, which is my favorite holiday. Yes, it's my favorite holiday. So we have Halloween coming up also. I don't know what I want to be for Halloween yet, but I will figure it out. I mean, I feel like since I'm doing Jurassic Park for the trunk or treat, I have to dress for that. But also, I'm trying to find like a little Halloween joint to go to or something. So y'all let me know about that too because I love to put on a costume and go to a party. It's lots of fun for me. And then we have the rest of the holidays that happen in the Burr months. So I'm very excited. I'm also finishing up grad school. Yay! Almost done there. Ding. And that's about it for me and my updates, the things that have been happening over the break. So I hope that you guys are excited and ready to hear some new things, get some new perspectives. Make sure you check out the links in the description below for the books that I am currently reading and the books that we are reading for the Three Black Girls Book Club. And leave a comment. Let me know if there's anything you want to talk about or hear talked about on the podcast for this season. And that's all I got today. Thank you for tuning back in. Love you guys. See you next week.